to the No Practice Podcast, where we cover the only sport in the world where there is no practice. With your mini rod driving host, Adam Kester, Tyler Slaw, and Chase Richardson. Strap in for some debates on the world of pulling, exclusive special guests, and a whole lot of nonsense BS. The No Practice Podcast starts now.
All right, welcome back for episode 24 of the No Practice Podcast. We're here to talk some nonsense, some tractor pulling with my beloved co-host, Chase Richardson, Adam Kester. The last time us three were together in this format, we were on the track at Bowling Green, and now we are just tucked away in our little home studios. Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening?
Doing fantastic. It's been 23 episodes of misery, but we're here for 24 with you two. And can't wait to have some more fun. Not misery, but it's misery having to listen to some of your two's comments, just to be honest. But love you both. It's been a while.
It's been miserable having you here as well, Chase. Adam, how we doing? We see you've joined us. When we went to cut to the intro, we didn't know if Adam was going to make it or not, but in the nick of time, he was here when the intro got done. How we doing, Adam?
I hope my audio sounds good. Are we good?
You sound good.
It's way better than your video for sure.
Yeah, you sound great.
That's good. Great. Well, I think we're still having slight technical difficulties. I missed the Bowling Green track where we had good internet because mine right now is not acting right. But hey, welcome home, right?
On the plus side, we don't have a band that is starting their introductions and doing their mic checks and whatnot beside us. So we've got that going for us, isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yeah, that was the live experience has definitely played itself out each week and each time we've done it. So everyone's our third one. The farm show one was more of a like we were in the principal's office the entire time. The Tillman one, I think the bar one definitely fit us a little more. Bowling Green, we wanted to do it out in the campgrounds. When you're doing new stuff, sometimes it takes a little bit of activation. So we got moved to the track and went well. It was kind of cool. We started with there was like 5 people there. At the end, there was at least 100 plus there watching us, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we got to finish a keg out on the track at Bowling Green, which was a special occasion for me. We got to have Mr. Ned Walliser on. We got to hear what his favorite cheese was, whether or not he thought it would be easier to domesticate a duck or a raccoon. We really learned a lot about the gentleman. So thanks, Ned, for coming on with us there in Bowling Green. I would say at some point, we don't know if it'll be next year or the year after, but I feel like at some point we're going to be doing a show from the campground in Bowling Green. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yeah, I think we'll just do what we want to do in the future, but we'll try to be nice to everyone. I think we got to prove we're here to grow the sport, but people do know that I think our intentions are good. Just sometimes it takes a little bit of massaging, for lack of a better word, because you don't want to.
Well, they want to make sure we're going to behave.
Yeah.
The word professional gets dropped a lot about cleaning it up and being professional. I don't know, man. I think we're pretty good at that.
I feel like Adam and I proved Thursday at Bowling Green that we can be professional. I'm sorry to those of you who had the live stream there and Full Pull Live. You had to listen to nothing but Adam and I all night long on Thursday. But I had a lot of fun doing it. It was pretty cool. We had the president of the PRI in with us there for a while. I thought that was a pretty good time. We were professional for sure. There was one unfortunate instance where Adam had to exit the production trailer to quick go to the bathroom because you're in there for like 5.5 hours. And I flipped
did you not go out too? I mean,
no, I did. But in this scenario, I flipped my headset down and I asked the people in the other room because we were doing a winner's circle deal. I said, Do I have time to take a bite of pizza and take a sip of my beer? Because Adam wasn't there to cover
your water.
Right. Yeah, my water. I'm sorry. And they said, yeah, you've got time. We're on winner's circle. And I took a huge bite of pizza because you got to make it count. And it was like 1 second later, they were like, nope, never mind. It's all you. So
but you know who did it first? I think, ESPN, they may have had their little college football analysis with their drinking beer. Hey, we invented this shit. So
Send us our royalties, baby.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
I haven't even told you guys this yet. You know, we talk about a lot in this show, and this is all about the fans and the pulling community. It's amazing the fandom we have behind us. I don't even take it that serious, but people do enjoy watching. You know, our viewership is snowballed every week. But I got a call this morning. We got an invite to go to Las Vegas to do a podcast live from SEMA. I didn't commit to it. I said, I got to talk to these guys. Sorry to not break the news to you until just now, but pulling fans and motorsports fans, we might be in Vegas doing one of these podcasts on the Strip, and I bet you they have professionalism there.
Yeah, a lot.
We'll figure that out. That's pretty exciting.
SEMA, SEMA isn't cool. That kind of right around the Halloween? There's a lot of stuff going on a couple weeks there.
Yeah, so I think our permission list will be way less if we decide to do that. We'll figure that all out off air. That just literally happened today, so sorry.
Well, that could be fun for sure. My highlight from Bowling Green, I can't not shout it out. For anybody that's familiar with the campground, there was always the shop bar, a lot of people called it, and it was like the bar, in quotes, out in the campground, and the guy wouldn't sell anything. He would just, maybe if you gave him a tip, he would offer you a drink or two. And it was known as the home of the animal cracker. And the guy's retiring. He's not coming back to Bowling Green. And so I bought that sign from him, and I had him write the recipe for his animal cracker shot on the back and had him sign it. So I figured it's a good addition to my backdrop here. So for anybody wondering what that sign's all about, that's its backstory there. So
yeah, also forgot about this. The Handshake Bets guys from the Better platform, they took in the weekend. Those guys, you know, that I'm sure as fans that follow now, they kind of cover mainstream sports, but I actually spoke to them today, and like they're asking when's the next event we can come to. Like they had a 10 out of 10 experience is what it was told by us, and they also sent some of the reach and viewership they got from some of their posts and engagement. I don't know the technical terms for the internet world, but basically while they were there for those 3 days, there was nearly 5 million views of their content, which was all centered around the sport of truck and tractor pulling. So I think it got brought forth in this podcast, but shout out to all fans, competitors, everyone. These guys, new eyes brought to the sport. They had a great experience. They're calling today, wanting to know when they can come to another one. So I'm sure there'll be more on the horizon with that. But
I think Tyler, did you take him? I saw you up in the stands. You were part of a little bit of that content as the world's fastest beer shotgun. Boom!
Yeah, I don't know. That's a pretty bold title. I don't know if I can claim to be the world's fastest shotgun.
I don't know, dude. You knock him down. I got some videos on my phone from us out in the campgrounds. That
Saturday, I think I took on over 20 different people in a matter of 3 hours, and yeah, we were undefeated, but it was time to go to bed for sure. So
yeah, there was some. I think there was a couple days of just relaxing after that, probably.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you need that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but
drive home was a nice, quiet one, I'm sure.
Yeah. Shout out to my girlfriend Courtney. I slept for a couple of
hang on, explain this to me, because sometimes stories get twisted amongst friends in the pulling community, and word got back to me that on Sunday after Bowling Green, you were in such bad shape your girlfriend had to drive you home.
Well, I got the rig off the grounds. I got it out onto the freeway. I got the cruise set, and then we legally switched drivers, and she drove for the better part of 2 hours while I took a little nap, and then I hopped back behind the wheel to finish out the drive on the small roads getting back to the house. So, yeah, she definitely did her part there on the drive home.
She's a truck driver by trade, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. We've seen her maneuver some stuff around. She does really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to move. We usually hang out there after Bowling, and we had to move our rig, so I didn't want to take the awning down, so I just took off across the pits with the awning out on the trailer. We parked over on the other side of the grounds, but we hung out there for a couple days. But it's really cool to see that event come together and get tore apart. They do a phenomenal job of cleaning that place up.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
The amount of beer cans. I love seeing like the roll-off dumpsters just filled with just crushed cans every year. It's unbelievable.
Well, just the volunteer work that they get, you know, coming, and I'm sure they donate to the, you know, sports and whatever teams come out there and help clean up a lot of that stuff, but they really get it cleaned up quick.
Absolutely. And after Bowling Green, you guys went to Wasion, where I feel like we need to.
Wellington.
We went to Wellington.
Sorry, Wellington. You're getting ready to go to Wasion again. My bad.
Right.
Adam, I watched the live stream and I saw some chaos with you unhooking a fuel line, possibly dropping an F-bomb. I'm not sure, unconfirmed.
Was there? No, there may have been.
Somebody else do this so I don't get my effing arm soaked with methanol. What was the dilemma going on?
You could hear that?
Oh yeah, you can hear that.
Think about it, Tyler. Okay, so here's the scenario. We're obviously terrible pass. Never hooked up, never even tried to hook up. I get out of it 400 feet. You only have 6 tractors. You come back. Well, we didn't bring another jug of fuel up. So Toby had to run back to the trailer, which was not close to the track. So he's running back and forth. And in the time that they're filling it up, I'm going to put some fuel in the engine just because, you can run them a little leaner when they're colder.
Put some fuel in it, as in adjust the pill.
Yeah, right? Adjust the main jet. So I take I take the plug out. And I put it in the fuel cap is sitting on the injector hat, and the injector hat's curved, so nothing really sits flat on it. Instead of just leaving it in my hand, I set it in the gas cap. Well, he's filling the thing up. They get done filling it up. I'm still changing the jet. He picks the cap up and the plug in there. Ding, ding, ding. All you heard was it hitting metal, and we could not find that thing anywhere. We rolled the tractor around and we're pulling stuff off. I mean, we're looking, we got flashlights out. We can't find this plug, which not a big deal, right? You can go over to the other tractor, unscrew the one out of one, put it in the other, you're good to go. The problem
concern was the tank.
Where did it go?
Yeah.
So where does this thing go? We don't run a fuel filter between the tank. I mean, we filter our fuel out of the barrel. We filter it into the tank. We filter it, or that's the end of the filtration process. From the tank to the pump, there is nothing.
Podcast filtration.
From the pump to the engine is nothing. So there's no filters. Well, I don't want to tear up an engine, so I don't care. We can't find it. It has to be in the tank. We pull the line off of it. It'll come flying out, whatever. We pulled the line off. It wasn't in there. So I said, okay, it's not anywhere. We're going to run this thing anyway. So as long as you know that. So the struggle from there, didn't get to adjust the tires, didn't really get to adjust much because all the stuff going on. I drove like an idiot again, sparks flying out from underneath it. That was the brakes when the tractors kind of get out of control. I usually hit the brakes.
The rotor was glowing red hot. If you go back and watch it, after you get off the throttle, and yes, sparks are going everywhere, you can see your rotor glowing. And then you actually back up, unhook from the sled, drive off. And as the camera pans and shows the back of your tractor, you can still faintly in the evening sky see your rotor glowing as you're driving off the track. That was
that's probably because the tires aren't spinning slow, if I was going to guess.
I would agree with that.
So when you come unhooked, I don't know, you guys all do different things. I hit the brakes, and those cheese grater brake calipers, you put enough pressure on them, you're going to get some sparks.
Oh yeah, so it was impressive.
So
yeah, it was
a disaster after staying out after Bowling Green and just hanging out, getting all these ideas cobbed up in your head about these things, these tune-ups and shit that you're going to try, and then you go out there and do that. You're just ready to load up and go home.
It was too much free time.
He did. He didn't even tell me goodbye. I've been with him all week, and he didn't even say goodbye. I got back. It was fun.
Loaded up and got home. Drove straight from the pool. We left at 10 o'clock. I got home at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And we lose an hour coming home, so it would have been 6 o'clock time.
Well,
we have a big show tonight, and we have some guests we can get to. I wanted to, before we get too far ahead, the pulling community is a tight knit. There are different organizations, different classes, different parties, but I think everyone is all one, or at least I view it as one. In terms of the fellowship and the love for the sport. And the incident that happened at the event in Shot Diesel Extravaganza last Friday, I believe it's Friday, we just want to put our thoughts and prayers and well wishes to all those involved. That was nothing we're going to get into, but definitely want to put a lot out there to people. And
We don't wish to sensationalize that in any way, but we felt like it would be pretty negligent to not mention that on a tractor pulling podcast. We're glad to see that several people have been released from the hospital per Patty Hazley's Facebook post, and our thoughts and prayers with those people as well as the people still in the hospital. So,
the world's a crazy place. Things happen. That's I don't know, you call it an act of God, but things just happen, and it is a very unfortunate situation. So let's just hope that everybody heals up good, and we've learned something from it, and we'll move on from there.
So on that note,
podcast.
Yes. So we've got a big guest, and he had a pretty good day at Bowling Green. And if anybody is following tractor pulling and also on Facebook, they're probably no stranger to this topic. And at this point, I think we should bring in our beloved pal, Mr. Josh Blackburn. Gentlemen, what do you think? Hitch irregularity. Is this man a cheater?
He looks like a cheater with that green shirt on. And did he drive red tractors?
What's in that cup? Was that before or after pull? Is that coffee?
That's coffee.
That's a quick trip coffee.
Irregularity. Josh, how are you this evening?
Hey, good fellas. Love the picture. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
How was the coffee? How was that coffee you were drinking?
Yeah.
That's when you don't get any sleep for 3 nights.
Yeah.
Have you slept since Bowling Green?
Oh, not really. We've had a ton of stuff to do here.
So let me set the scene for you, Josh, how it seemed on my end, and then I want you to take over and just tell everything from your point of view. Obviously, we're up in the stands watching the Light Supers. Mr. Dan Mayer doing an excellent job announcing, tells us how you had to bring a turbo there. And you said, if you're going to bring a turbo, you're going to bring a tractor. And so you showed up and you laid down a pass, not a smooth pass, a wild, vicious, high power, high tire speed, just flirting with that fine line of wrecking and kicking ass. And you kicked ass and you got the win. And because the other show was a rain out, they announced you as the ring winner. And then before the class even got done, though, they said that you had a hitch irregularity and that you would be disqualified. Tell us how that all went down from your point of view.
I mean, I guess to rewind, I'm at a Badger State hook back here in Wisconsin in Pecatonica, and it got rained out. Chris, the owner of that particular tractor, was waiting on a set of tires. He had stretched a tire out on it and entered me to go run it in Bowling Green. I decided not to go because it would have been a pretty wild ride trying to drive that thing with the tires it had on it. So we decided not to go, and I pulled Badger State back here. I wasn't even planning on going to Bowling Green at all. So our event got rained out.
What day was that event, Josh?
That was Thursday night.
Gotcha. All right. You can give me a tally for that.
Yeah, so it's Thursday night. We're running. We're about to run in Pecatonica. It gets rained out, and we're on our way home with the toter. I get a call. It's my old man. He says, he's like, Cody popped a charger on this tractor. We need parts. The intake's also blown up. Would you be able to drive all night long and get this stuff out here? And we got talking to each other, and we actually didn't have any spare parts for that tractor. We had an intake, but we didn't have a turbo that was put together. I could just throw it in the truck and take off. So I went back to the shop. We spent about 3 hours. I had to machine a backing plate on a charger, mismatch some center sections, exhaust housing, different things like that. It took us about 3 hours. We got the charger done. We did some modifications to an intake that we had in inventory. And then I called Dad, and I was just like, hey, I got an idea. I'm entered already to pull out in Bowling Green in the light super class. Why don't we see if Mike would be cool with us borrowing a spare set of tires? So he talked it over with Mike, and Mike said, sure, he's going to drive these parts out here for us and help us out. I'll help him out. He can borrow a set of my tires that just had gotten done at K3 Tire up in Beaver Dam. So these things are all wrapped up, the fresh edge, they're all ready to go. We threw those on a tractor, loaded it, got all this shit ready. We basically had about a couple hours. We had a window. We had to take off and drive. A friend of mine, Adam Steinbach, and Lance Learman, they came along with me and helped me out driving. We each took turns just nonstop to BG. When we got there, we started working on that guy, or Cody's tractor. We were putting the intake and turbo on while that class was actually running. We just barely made it to the scale, got him on the track, and he got a 3rd place. Well, after all that circus kind of got over with, I started getting this light super that I brought there ready. And so I had to go through the tech barn, get it passed through tech, get ready for the show. We were like 2 classes after the heavies got done. They drawbarred us before our class. I can't remember how many tractors we had in that class. It must have been like 20. I'll just say 20. They got us all past the drawbar. As I'm watching this class kind of unfold, I was like mid-pack, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I really don't know this tractor that well. I've only drove it twice prior to this event, and it had some pretty screwed up tires, and I had some wild rides with it. We just put this new set on. I just said something to Lance. He was with me. I said, hey, let's lower the drawbar a little bit. And so we're right up there. It was like there's 2 tractors to go. We're right up at the starting line. I told him to lower the drawbar. So he goes ahead, lowers the drawbar. We pull, and I took over the lead by 7 feet. Okay, there's like 3 or 4 tractors behind me, but I take the lead over. As I'm coming around to get scale or weight up to make sure we're at the right weight, we pull it back to the trailer. I hear them announce over the loudspeaker that I'm basically disqualified for a hitch irregularity, is what they called it.
So no one even came and talked to you?
No, no one spoke to me. I mean, I just weighed in at the end of the track. I'm at the trailer. I was going to just basically take my fire suit off, watch the rest of the class kind of unfold and see what happens, And so I hear that, my heart sinks. I'm like, what the fuck? I got to go up here and see what's going on. This, you know what I mean? When you hear something like that over the loudspeaker at Bowling Green, when you just lay down a pass like that, it's like my heart was just pumping.
Not to mention you hadn't been to a pool all year.
Yeah, I'm not going to any pools, so you won't see me.
Welcome to your first pool back. Hey, by the way, Josh Blackburn, you're DQ'd.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there, but I go up to the starting line, and so I'm trying to talk to Marvin, and then Mr. Ned Walliser. They're both up there, and I'm just trying to get a feel for what's going on. And what they said to me was that someone had taken a picture of someone touching my drawbar. They didn't say anything other than that. And I'm going to have to be honest. I didn't know there was a rule in the actual rule book that says you can't lower your drawbar after the pad. Since I've been pulling, I'm a second generation puller. Since I've been pulling with Dad, I mean, that's just been our normal thing. Like if it's a really good track, and I guess you're making some good power. We have a 30.5 tire, and we can only weigh 6,200 pounds. I mean, we have a lot of bite. The more power you make, the lower the drawbar, in my mind.
Well,
Josh,
and I think
I was just going to say, these are the same people that probably wrote that rule that don't want you walking out on the track to poke it when you're about to drive a 3,000 to 5,000 horsepower vehicle down it and you don't know where to go. You're like, get off the track. Say, hey, dude, I'm about to strap myself in this damn thing. I would like to know where I need to go. It's
right.
The same thing when you go across the hitch pad. Every mini rod would be disqualified if they knew everybody drops their hitches.
I've been DQ'd all year long. I didn't know that was a rule.
I've moved my hitch every single pull.
Yeah,
I know it. Now I know in the 2-wheel drive class, I think they have a thing that maybe PPL started or something where they got a zip tie and all that stuff because 2-wheel drives never run a short hitch, I think. Maybe.
Yeah. In the 2-wheel drive class, I think you pretty much take all the hitch you can get. But I dare say most mini rod pullers basically do probably what Josh did. If the track's going to suck,
Tyler Slaw.
You're going to want all that hitch. So traditionally, you go across the hitch pad. You basically take all the hitch you can get. You observe a few tractors, and then you lower your hitch. I am notorious for running my hitch all the way up. I've even lowered my hitch a couple times this year. So, Josh, we got your back there that you did nothing out of the norm in our eyes. So you're there. You're talking to them at the starting line. They have a picture of someone touching your hitch. Where does that go from there?
So
It sounds like a sexual assault case. We have a picture of them touching your drawbar.
I had to take a deep breath and try not to yell or be just have a normal conversation. But I was very upset. I mean, it's the biggest pole in the world. You just took over the lead. You had a great pass. They're DQing you, and they're saying they're DQing you because I wanted to know what a hitch irregularity meant, and they just said, "Well, somebody just sent us a picture that somebody's behind your tractor touching the hitch." And I didn't really have to say if we did or didn't touch the hitch, but I went ahead and said, "Yes, I lowered it. I'm guilty. I lowered the hitch. It's a disadvantage. There's guys out here that maybe have more ballast weight on the nose, and they're running a full hitch, but I definitely touched the hitch, and I know that there's other guys that touch their hitch as well. So are you going to DQ them? Is there an appeal process? Can I see the picture?" I mean, I was just rattling off questions, and then they basically just told me to just take a second, breathe. They went, and Ned and Marvin talked, I think, for about 15 minutes. It felt like a couple hours for me.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom, my dad, our crew members, some of our customers, they're standing there just like, what's going on? Like what
Is Josh Blackburn cheating? Is Josh Blackburn the reason that he has all this success? He's been cheating all this time.
That's the secret. Lower your drawbar. Definitely.
Well, I mean, seriously, dude, when you get disqualified, it's the first mark that says this guy's cheating. How long has he been cheating?
So,
how long has he been doing this? Like,
I read everything from he has a floating hitch or, just anything you can imagine. I mean, people start just jumping to conclusions. I think I probably had like 30, 40 texts after that asking what's going on and all the comments online. It was definitely a little low blow, but thank God Von Bauer, he came over there, talked to Ned and Marvin, and I was just kind of, steps away, and he weighed in on the situation of what he thought, and they eventually overturned it due to the fact that most of the class already had touched their drawbar.
Now think of this, guys. It's very easy to fix, and it's obvious. We're the only sport that weighs before we run and not after. Bowling Green's the one exception where we do. There should be a scale at the end of every competition track, just like it is in drag racing, NASCAR, circle track, you name it. You make a pass, you put a red light, a green light, you go across it. There's a minimum weight that you can be, or a maximum weight that you can be. If you're over that, you're disqualified. The same time they're doing that, put a hitch checker out there. If it's over 13 inches in the mini rod, you're disqualified. If it's over 20, you know what I'm saying? It's that simple. There should be no question about that.
So where does that go from there? Vaughn talks to him. He comes out, he talks some sense into him, and then they just said, "Just kidding, you're fine."
So as this is all unfolding, like I said, they debated this for a long time. I mean, I'm sure they're thinking like, "Holy shit, maybe we made a mistake. How is this going to look on us if we overturn it now?" Like I'm sure there was more than just like, did he cheat? Did he not cheat? Is this a rule? Is it not a rule? Well, I went and looked at the rule book after all this unfolded. It is a rule. It says after the drawbar, you cannot touch your hitch, but it also says you can't alter your air pressure either. So if the sun is hitting your tire and your tire is swelling and you're going over there with your tire gauge and basically letting air out of your tire to get back to where you want to be set at, that's technically illegal too.
Which once again, I would say all mini rod guys do that as well.
Okay, so another fact in that, say it's cold out night and you're sitting there, you draw bar way back at this concrete pad way before you run. You're sitting there, your tires are losing air pressure. You have to put air in the tires. Everybody throws a fit. You can't do that. You can't put air in if you put the drawbar and the weight at the end and you check it at the end, then nobody's cheating. Correct?
Yeah, I'm all with you. They definitely need to have the drawbar after the event. They could leave a drawbar checker at the scales. Whoever your crew member or yourself can basically, it's a self-serve thing. You set your drawbar right there yourself. They wouldn't have to hire somebody to do that. And then basically at the end of the track, then have somebody, a personnel member, tech official, come and check it.
So,
Go ahead.
So
whatever.
Of course, there's ways to better police this, but I still want to hear the rest of this juicy story. So they're talking, they're thinking maybe we screwed up. Where does it go from there?
It like I said, it took forever to get done. That day they were announcing they had a rain out on Thursday, which I was not on the premises Thursday at all. I didn't go through the tech barn. I was in Wisconsin. They announced on Saturday that winner takes the ring and takes the bonus check, takes the money for the spin wheel or whatever, the $10,000 on Saturday. So they said winner of this class takes all. So after that had gotten done, they actually said, okay, you won the class. You're not disqualified. We're overturning it. We went up to the winner's circle. They presented me the ring. They gave me the $10,000. They gave me the bonus check, the coolers, everything. Of course, after that had been done, it's kind of hard to celebrate when you're getting jerked around and stuff. It kind of took the wind out of my sails. But later on, like a few days later, I think 4 days later, I got a call and they said, well, we made another mistake due to a technicality. You have the ring back. So they actually had me send them the ring back.
Who
we need that red labeled, please.
Josh, who made that call, and did you suspect that was going to be a call saying that? Like, you're just like, oh, look, it's so-and-so. I wonder what they want. And they're just, Josh, the ring, please.
Where's the ring?
Yeah, like, tell us how that call went.
My precious. Give me my precious.
So Ned Walliser gave me a call, and Greg Randall.
2-on-1?
I didn't think they were actually going to ask me for the ring back, but I thought they were going to talk to me a little bit about it, maybe apology, something like that. But no, it was about the ring. They wanted it back. I'm like, oh, shit, are you serious? So as that conversation unfolded, I was very hesitant to give the ring back because I thought I'd won it fair and square. They presented it to me. So I called Schultz, and he had told me that NTPA basically is in charge of tallying up who the winner is at the event, and they let him know. So I think Schultz had asked those guys. So we got a rain out. 4 competitors didn't get to hook. So Saturday, the winner of that class takes all. Am I right? And they said yes. So they were announcing it the whole entire time during the show that whoever wins this poll today, they're taking everything home. So that's how I heard it, and that's how.
But you weren't there, and theoretically, you weren't on the grounds if the class was. It was almost finished. Me and Tyler were doing the announcing during the last few tractors. It was almost finished. Which you wouldn't have been there, right? I get that.
I think there was almost three tractors, something like that.
You can almost agree with that call much more than the disqualification, I would say. Provided, they probably, I guess, should have been announcing it that way from the beginning. Like, everybody that was here Thursday is eligible to win the ring. One pass, one.
Well, it's very few times ever that people show up in the middle of an event and compete on the second day. I mean, it doesn't happen that much.
This was an asterisk situation, but leave it to Josh Blackburn to come in just to blow up the ecosystem of what's normal in Poland. I mean, as a
you're taking our jobs.
With all said and done, though, obviously, I'm sure everyone involved would choose to do things different. Like, where it all ended and set, minus you having to ship a ring out, probably that was kind of a little damper. But,
did they pay for it?
You feel like the final results are fair across the board, minus you having to ship something?
Yeah, I agree. So all I would have had to have been present on the grounds Thursday and go through the tech barn. That's all I would have had to done, and then I would have been qualified to do it.
Imagine, Josh, you got Rex sitting over there, right? He's just been told 17 times that you won the $10,000. He's been disqualified. That's your money and all that stuff. He's got to be equally pissed on the other side of the deal, right? I mean, what the hell's going on here?
I agree. I actually looked at Rex. I seen his face. He was upset.
He's distraught. They
was
just
upset.
got done telling him he won the thing, right? I mean,
so
come on.
did they take back the $10,000 too?
No, they did not.
No.
That's good.
The tractor
that was
eats
part
that
of
in one
that.
afternoon.
Well, I know that was part of it, but I just wasn't sure how that all felt. How
This
awkward
is
did
like
you
a child
feel?
custody battle, I'm telling you.
How awkward did you feel boxing up a Bowling Green ring to ship it?
It was
What
weird.
did you ship it? Regular mail in an envelope?
Hey,
Yeah,
in the world we live in today, you both should have got a ring, right?
USPS, yeah.
Did you like package it up and like wrap it, make sure it didn't get damaged? Were you how sincere were you with your ship?
Amazon
no,
packaging?
I agreed with the call. Like, if they're going to give me a ring, I'm going to take it, and like they said, I thought it was winner takes all. Like, I understand where Rex, his point of view, like they had just said, hey, you're winning this 10 grand, you're going to win the ring and all this stuff. And then they took it away from them. It was just
Right.
a big misunderstanding. And it was NTPA's bad. And they made it right. And it just was a lot of screwing around. I didn't appreciate the fact that probably everybody at that event thought I was cheating.
Yeah, that sucks.
You were. It was in the rule book, Josh. You were
Yeah.
cheating. But we all cheated all year long.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, for
No,
anybody, like I said, for anybody who don't know, like when you weigh before the pull, here's the conundrum, right? You weigh before the pull, you sit there, you do whatever, you do the draw bar. At Bowling Green, it's not that bad because you're not that far away. On the one track, you scale way outside and you sit for a long time. On the other track, you scale really close to when you hook. And so it's different there, but, we all go across the scale at the end of the track. Well, people are going, oh, the scales are off and all this. I mean, there is a lot of issues with all of those things. But, as long as we kind of have a normal and everything, I think weighing before, weighing after, checking the hitch before, checking after, as long as these things are done, there should be no question
And we
on
should
whether or not work.
We
If
should-
you want to gamble, Tyler, if you want to gamble 30 pounds, if you really understood racing and you want to gamble 30 pounds of fuel that you're going to burn off on a mini rod, you could put 30 more pounds on the nose of your tractor. And as long as you're under 2050, whenever you go across that scale, it's legal.
I
That would
understand,
be
yeah.
exciting. People are gambling weight.
Josh,
You could
do
pull
you
across
feel
there.
like the rules about adjusting the hitch after the drawbar is going to be changed now based on the goings on and everything shining a light on this?
Yes. I actually got word that so Marvin is the lead tech official at that event. He is responsible for what happened. And I know now that I think Marvin now, like, they're going to change this for 25. He'll actually have to speak with another tech official, at least one other person, if they're going to disqualify a competitor. So he won't be able to just make that call on his own. He'll actually have to talk to one other person before he can do that. And I'm sure you will see, something at the end of the track to check everybody's drawbar out from now on, if I had to get.
So all in all, we're bettering the sport through these difficult times. Isn't that right?
I think so.
All right.
So maybe they'll add a little asterisk in there for the Josh Blackburn effect on some of these rules being adapted and changed.
No, I've learned they don't actually physically print your name behind the rule when they add one to the rule book about you.
They should. That'd help
Be a
me
lot
remember
more fun.
anyway. Yeah.
All right.
But-
Any parting words, Josh?
No, thanks for having me on, guys. It was fun to clear it up.
So
And,
what's the latest for you, dude? You said you weren't ever coming back pulling.
What's that comment right there? Chase is
Yeah.
always say it's only
Yeah, we
cheating
got-
if they catch us.
That's right.
That's only when we run two-wheelers, not minis.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are running some illegal blower overdrive that's only like 20%, you bastards.
Yeah.
Josh, what's the latest to you? Give your fans out there an update because honestly, I did not know you were on the grounds. We park. I didn't go up there and watch. I was working on something, and I hear Josh Blackburn takes the lead, and Josh Blackburn is disqualified for irregular hitch. I didn't even know you were there, dude. So just outside that, what else is going on with you? How's your summer going?
I'm trying to stay home more, keep the business open longer. And I've been pulling Badger State just locally around here. It's pretty nice on the weekends. You're not 2 or 3 hours away from home. It's been
I'm
a lot
sure
of
they
fun.
love that. I'm sure they love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You coming mopping you up.
That's actually pretty competitive pulling up there, Badger State.
No, it is
right?
very
Yeah,
good.
it
That
really
class
is.
is very good.
We got a tight point race going on right now. and we're giving it all we can.
That's awesome.
Josh, great to have you always. Hopefully next time you come on, it's not so controversial and it's just because we want to talk to you, but we want to talk to you all the time, but it makes for a good story. And a lot of questions got answered that people didn't know. And I think everyone can kind of walk away with this understanding a little more instead of what the hell happened, and knowing that you weren't trying to do anything shady. You're just doing something that we all do. And it just literally probably is going to lead to a rule being eliminated. So appreciate you coming on, my brother.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Josh.
See you, Josh. Take her easy, buddy.
Don't touch the hitch again.
That's right.
That's
How
pretty
about
interesting.
that?
I did not know that rule existed. Like you said, I think we all said it until this.
Yeah,
So,
I try to read the rule book every year, and it's always blew my mind where it talks that you can't do that. Yeah, everybody does it all the time, like all the time.
Adam, you should protest somebody at Wasion for touching their hitch this weekend.
Nope.
It's in the rule.
It's in the rule. Well,
Something tells me they'd handle that a little bit differently now. That's what we call a teachable moment at the end of the day.
yes. Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think there's a lot of maybe things that are out there that probably should be looked at a little bit closer, I guess, and how they're worded, because a couple words in a sentence there that are can construe people's minds. You know, like there's gray areas in every rule, right? That people look at it. That's a very weird rule in my mind. You know, you can't touch the hitch. I mean, it's no different. Like I'm saying, when you walk up to the track after the Unlimiteds run and they say you can't walk out there, and it's like, dude, there could be a 3-foot hole out there where one of those Unlimited spun out, and you're trying to tell me I can't go check out. And we're supposed to be safe. You know, they want us to have safe runs and everything. Just if you want to drop the hitch, it's because you're getting nervous about how aggressive it could be.
There was a very good question, and we've probably gotten away from this. I think early on we tried to be very particular about educating people on rules. I don't know if we can add this, but a gentleman, Doug Banks, asked, why would it matter if you lowered your hitch? Is there a minimum hitch height? So Josh touched on this a little bit, and we, at a high level, probably you could understand it. But for a class like mini rod and light super stock, probably the top two, there's a maximum hitch height. And obviously the higher the hitch, the more advantage you have. It's easier to pull something. But sometimes when you can't add more weight to the front of your vehicle, your option is to lower your hitch. So that's a practice that's used common in our class and obviously the light super stock class. But very good question, Doug. We probably should have been a little more specific about why that.
For anybody that doesn't know, Tyler Slaw is notorious for not lowering his hitch. Like he runs it up all.
That's why I wreck so often.
I don't know. Have you seen our tractors? I lower the hitch and we still wreck.
That's true, Adam. I think that red one, maybe you need to lower it just a touch.
No, more. I think the only thing that needs to be lowered on that is probably the ignition timing.
That probably wouldn't hurt.
Well, this is a double dose show. We have our main guests that are going to headline this podcast with after Josh.
Josh isn't even the star of our show.
He's not even the star. The main star is here backstage and has been on quite the run here. Bowling Green Unlimited Ring Champion. They've been a former Modified Unlimited or Modified Points Champion. Always tough runners.
Been pulling a very long time.
Promoters of one of the biggest events in pulling that you may or may not know that. But Mr. Ricky Rose from Minnesota, the owner and driver of the Giddy Up Unlimited, is joining us. Ricky, welcome to your world debut for the No Practice Podcast. How are you feeling right now?
I'm doing okay. Glad to talk to you guys.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on. And as I'll let everyone know, Ricky, we have thousands of people watching tonight, but as I was talking to Ricky about coming on, he was asking some things because I don't know if Ricky's one that watches our podcast, but I said we have fun, we have a good time. We'll ask some fun questions, and some you may not be interested in answering. Well, he said, well, if not, I'll just hang up on you all. So hopefully the screen doesn't go black at any point, Ricky. You don't hang up on us, and you give the people what they want. But as a prerequisite, if Ricky disappears, you know why he left. So just a heads up on that. But Ricky, thank you for joining us. Are you there at your home there in Minnesota right now?
Yep, we're at home in Minnesota here. Yep. So just hanging out.
You just wrapped up the Grand National Unlimited points. Had a pretty good year. Here and there, had a couple things. You really got to be right on all the time. You're still running the modified points. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we're in the chase. We're actually in fourth in the modified division with 2 hooks to go yet.
So you potentially, where did you end up in the unlimited standings?
We're in fourth there too.
Okay, so you have the potential at Sandwich to get into the Enderley in both classes.
That's correct. Yeah, we're in the Enderley.
So you guys work. You guys work your butts off most all the time. All the pulls that we see, we've seen you run the tractor as a 2-engine. We've seen you run it 3 and as a 4-engine. So the Enderley, for instance, there's a lot of work that's got to be done in a very short fashion because you run both Grand National classes. Can you kind of take us through what it's like to convert that tractor from 3 to 4 engines and what you actually have to do?
Well, it's nice to have our crew that works with me all the time, and I think they'll be out there to the Enderley. So it really ain't that difficult. Of course, you like to make sure everything's perfect, but we can do it pretty quick. We just our mod motor, which sits in the middle, we take off. And then I got 2 complete unlimited motors in the trailer that we just set on there again. So it's a completely different configuration once we put the other 2 motors on. They're built more for the unlimiteds, and my 2 front ones we leave alone just for they're set up the same as in the mod.
Now, is it true that the back 2 in the unlimited have 1871 superchargers while the front just have 14s?
Yep, that's correct. We got 18s on the back and 14s on the front.
And I see when you have the engine mounted in with the 3 engines on it, there's a gear that drives that 3rd engine, and you basically take a plate, and when you remove that gearbox or that portion of the gearbox, you block off that plate. You uncover 2 different plates that where the other engines connect to different gears. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct. It's just straight cut gear that we our motors have the bell housing and the gear that matches that one that we set together, and we just clamp that together, and that's all there's really to do. So
no gear changes or anything, huh? You can kind of.
Yeah, we do a gear change.
You have like a drop box or something?
Through a reduction box, we do that in the mod division. Gotcha. So when we go from mod to unlimited, it's a lot easier than going from unlimited to mod, because we just jerk the reduction box out, which is easier to do than put it in.
Gotcha.
So, Ricky, what are the gears you run in modified and unlimited?
Yeah. Well, you're being so thorough with everything. You're just going to let that slide.
We're all laughing.
Something like 11 to 1 and maybe like 13 to 1, maybe.
Okay.
If you want to believe that.
Yeah, I guess sounds like a diesel super stock number or something.
Mini rod number.
That's right.
I care not to really compliment.
For anybody that doesn't know, it's new to the world, that is the most sacred question of every puller that's out there. What gear do you run? Everybody, it's the most asked question of any pulling vehicle.
And what gear being the finalized reduction from the motor to the rear tires? So whether you got a little bit in the transmission, a little bit in your ring and pinion, your planetaries, things like that. It's the overall reduction when everybody's saying, what gear do you have it in, for those of you that don't know. Ricky, with those 18s on the back, how much more fuel do those motors use compared to the 14s on the front?
About 1.5 gallons.
That's impressive.
1.5 gallons per motor. More.
Those things are making some air.
Yep, they do well.
Have you ever considered 4 18s for the unlimited?
I do have 4 18s. We did that the first year I came out with 18s. We switched the front motors over, but that was just too much work to do and too many mistakes to be able to happen.
Right. Yeah, I think you've got your plate pretty full already with those changeovers. Running the modified and the unlimited, you say you're 4th in both. What do you honestly feel like is more of a challenge if somebody's going to get into a class?
for a new competitor, the biggest challenge probably would be is be able to keep your equipment running. I would guess. We've been pretty fortunate this year with that's what gets you down in the point championship is hopefully you don't break too much.
So would you say the unlimited is more of a challenge than the modified?
I guess, yeah, it's a different drive style,
Okay.
and I let my son Jeff drive the mod now. So it makes it easier for me to concentrate on the unlimited and instead of trying to drive both classes.
Right. I guess so Tyler, you kind of asking, being a 3-engine with 1471s against 4 engines in the modified class with 871s at 45% over, or in the unlimited class, it's kind of anything goes, but you are running against screw blowers and 5 engines on some. Which one do you think is more of a challenge to get the setup right on it? Is it the 3-engine against the 4, or is it the 4 against the 5?
It's probably that's a toss-up right now. I think I don't know. We just kind of know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. When you're in the mod deal, that's all more about the horsepower, or
Sure.
it's more because you got limitations. So in the unlimited, there is so much power there already. It's a matter of getting your combination correct.
Gotcha. Right on.
Ricky, pulling aside, we always try to show the full circle people and the guests we have in the show. So obviously us three know you as being a competitor and being out there with you, but a lot of people don't know what Ricky Rose does. Take us through kind of what you do outside tractor pulling day to day and kind of what your operation is when you're not out running around the country pulling tractors.
Well, I'm a cash cropper. I raise corn, soybeans, and some sugar beets. So it keeps us busy. We're right around that 4,000 acres is about what we run. So it keeps us busy.
And you're based out of Minnesota. Is it Glencoe, Minnesota, Ricky?
That's correct. Yep. Right
So
west of Minneapolis.
So your farming primarily is in the Glencoe area, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we farm about 20-mile radius around us. So yeah, we get out a ways. So
And then also a lot of people don't know this. One of my favorite pulls, mid-June every year, the Power Pull Nationals in Hutchinson, Minnesota, which just is one of these pulls that continues to grow every single year. Unfortunately, Saturday got rained out this year, but Friday, I would say without a doubt, was the biggest crowd I've seen there on a Friday. You're also, along with your family there, the promoters of the Power Pull Nationals. And take us through how you got going to that and kind of the initiative to do that and how much work it is to do one of those events.
Well, it's a long story. We actually started promoting the first pull I ever put on was back in 1985 on my home farm here. We had a hillside we sat on and pulled in the ravine. And so we did that for about 3-4 years. And then we moved to another county fair ground and did it there for a little while. And then it was regional. We did state at the farm. Regional we did at another facility, which was at Arlington, Minnesota. And then we moved up to Hutchinson in '96, and that's where we've been ever since. So I've been promoting pulls ever since '85, which is a long time.
Hell yeah!
I didn't know you were that old, Ricky.
Ricky, I was born in 1986.
So
I got a few years of you then, don't I?
Yeah, just a few.
The Power Pull Nationals, though, we'll bring this back up as we go through the entire offseason, but I really consider it probably as far as 2-day pulls, it's in the conversation with the Chapel Hill type event of, the amount of people and the amount, the amount of competitors there this year. It had to be a record amount of competitors at your event. So do you ever see that event growing to maybe more than 2 sessions, or kind of what's your ambition with that, make it as good as you can with the 2 session, or have you ever thought about expanding?
I think we'll probably be at the 2-day. We've talked about it maybe putting like a regional or get some of the local more regional stuff in on a Thursday night maybe, but it's a lot of work, and I don't think we can really exercise. Got a lot of volunteer help, that friends of ours, and another day is probably more than we can handle. And Julie's a big force in this in our Power Pole National deal. So and we enjoy doing it, and it's nice. I mean, it's just us two that are sole promoters. We have no group, so it's just us two people that do that, organize it, and try to get enough help together. And we got other ideas we're going to try this year, and hopefully they'll work out.
Yeah, it's a tricky time of year. I think the weather's always a question because the spring's changing and everything like that. You guys hauled some new dirt in. I have to say the track is phenomenal. Really, as a mini rod puller, I think the track's really good. The stands and the fans that show up there. There's room for campers and all that stuff. The fairgrounds are absolutely like some of the cleanest fairgrounds we've ever been on. It's really a beautiful fairgrounds. You treat the pullers well with a great meal, pork chops, and really go to the, you try to give us the best experience that we can have. It's a long drive up there. I love going there. It's beautiful. The time of year, I mean, the people are nice. It's a really good event. And, yeah, we've had a little rain out here and there, but as a whole, it's a really good event to go to.
Yeah, I thanks for all the compliments. We get a lot of compliments that way, and it's just a good time, and we try to keep going ahead. And hopefully, it'd be nice not to be quite so early, but we've tried that. When we were regional, we were in mid-August, and our bleachers get awful hot in the mid-August, and we felt that didn't work. We get a 100-degree day with no roof over the bleacher and aluminum bleachers, so that gets awful hot.
Yeah, well, you're thinking about the fan experience when it comes there, and if you come to that pool, it's definitely, you got a lot of stuff going on there. It's a really good event. Thanks for having us. We came there. It's been a few years now, but I really enjoy going there. And you guys had to change your schedule a little bit based on you had to change your schedule a little bit based on like a music festival and stuff, but it's a really good time of year to go.
And I can say firsthand, Ricky, when in terms of impacting the local economy, when there was a rain out like there was this year, the local bars really benefited from the pullers that did not go and pull. So there's always good giving back in Hutchinson, Minnesota when there's rain out, but we would prefer to pull. But not a bad place to hang out when there's some rain involved.
Yes, I'm sure of that. Of course, I couldn't go in them activities. You guys are probably all having fun, but we were trying to figure out what we were going to do, So
you tried as hard as you could, man. It just wasn't gonna. Yep. It wasn't in the story this year. Yeah, it wasn't.
What are the challenges as a promoter that a lot of people don't even realize what it takes behind the scenes to put on a Grand National event like that?
Well, Julie does a lot of that work, getting all your sponsors together, talking to them and getting them lined up and getting all the banners out there that they want and that type thing. You
guys used to dig the track out. You'd have to come in, right, and dig the track out every year before the pool. I mean, just the dirt work and preparing the track and getting the fairground set up for it. I mean, you have to set up electric. And, I mean, there's a lot of things you guys got to do that nobody sees.
Yeah, 3 years ago, before we been a while now, before we put the new dirt in, we had there was clay below and there was black dirt on top. So for a few years, we took the black dirt off and pulled on the existing clay that was below, but that wasn't the best dirt below either. So then we decided to put new clay in, and that seems to be pretty good. So I'm pretty happy that we got that done. I think most pullers are. We had an uneven track before, and now it seems like you start at the starting line and it's almost as good at the finish line. So that's what we're after. So
every class is hanging the front ends in the air. That's when you know the track's good.
That's correct. So and my brother Randy does a lot of the prep of the track. So I got to thank him a lot for helping he's my brother, so helping getting that done, and of course I help with that, and that's a big challenge, to try to get the right moisture in it for all the pullers and put the best show on. So that's probably the next hardest thing to do.
Right.
Where did you get your start in pulling, and how did this all turn into what it is today? Like, where was your first pulling vehicle? What year was it?
Well, I just basically started out at the field pulling at county fairs. So I started that in 1972 at county fair with a 1206. So, and then I think it was around 1980, I bought my first membership for NTPA. And we didn't have to have roll cages and all that stuff to go pull with NTPA back then. I mean, you could just kind of jump in. So back at our local town here, it was an NTPA event, regional event. So I jumped in the pro stock class with my 1206, and we did pretty well. So then I got hooked on that. So we ran the diesel for up till 1990. So then I bought a mod in 1990 and continued on that way.
What convinced you to go to the mod? I mean, was there something available, a good running tractor that you always had your eye on? You had a love for the class. I mean, what really got you to switch over?
This is how that happened. Dennis Christensen is same town as me. So he says, well, we were up in Canada pulling indoors one winter, and he says, well, I'll just let you drive my tractor one time. So
oh boy,
drove his tractor one time. So then I ended up buying his tractor. So that's how that took place.
Sounds like he was wanting a new tractor, and he took advantage of you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Damn you, Doc! You got Ricky, like, you hook, line, and sinker, buddy.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
We saw some people asking there, your tractor looks a little bit more unique. You've got your roll cage moved forward compared to a lot of other multi-engine tractors. Even your fenders look a little bit different in the way they're built. Tell us about the backstory of your present day tractor and how that all came to be.
Well, I wanted a rolled fender rolled in around the tires, and kind of got that from Gardner Stone. If you probably don't remember Gardner Stone's tractor, but that's where I got the idea.
We're not that young, Ricky.
What's that?
We're not that young, Ricky.
So anyhow, that's how I got going on that type of fender. So I built my own carbon fiber mold and all that, and so that's kind of how the look I wanted, and that's the look I had kind of the whole time I had my modified.
You built the mold yourself?
I had a Burnett in Indianapolis.
Jeff Burnett.
Yep. Built the mold, and I kept the mold. So yeah, he's the one that.
So you stamping fenders out for these mods now? For anybody that doesn't know, Ricky might need some extra money. He's going.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I haven't given it to anybody yet. So
that's cool. Yeah.
Dang, Ricky.
Yeah.
You're revealing all your secrets on here. I didn't know you had all that.
I don't got all good.
Well,
secrets.
you got to make the ass into the tractor light. I mean, your roll cage is pretty far forward. I mean, that chassis. You've been running it for a while. It hooks very well. I mean, the thing. It seems like it really wants to go. Most of them, the giddy up. The thing always wants to go.
Yeah. It always seems to want to hook good. Now I don't know if that's the design of the frame, how it's designed, or if it's there could be a lot of things involved, I guess. But
so I'm going to bring it up because it's a pretty remarkable story for anybody that doesn't know. In New Hampton, in what year I don't know, but you take off down the track in this tractor, and the rear end with the tires attached leaves the vehicle, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I mean, obviously, you guys did a very good job of putting it back together, right?
Oh yeah, it's still up and running. Dave Fund is actually the one that from Wisconsin is the one that built that frame.
Really?
So, yep, Dave Fund. If you ever heard of him.
He's got a lot of light supers and stuff out there running all through the north there where you guys are at. I mean, he's built a lot of chassis for a lot of people. So that's pretty crazy though. We were trying to dig up a video. It's like non-existent. But I was there that night. I was very young. I mean, it's been years ago. New Hampton had another Iowa track, the black dirt. It was, hit or miss sometimes. We always had kind of good luck on it. I think Tyler went there and maybe had one of the biggest fires I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I sure did. I twisted off the input shaft, blew everything up, was in a ball of fire. And when I unbolted the cylinder head from the deck surface where the head bolts to, clear down to the oil pan, the whole side of the motor just fell down onto the ground, and we were staring at the exposed sleeves of the engine.
Yes. Let's take a 5-engine mod and put the engines on a Mini and see how many we can go through in a year.
I peeled through like 4 of those engines in like the first year. So I was trying to do my best to make sure Bruce never got back into a multi-engine tractor.
But I mean, it pulls the rear end of the tractor. You guys put it back. Dave Fun put it back in there and fixed everything up. That thing's kind of, I mean, when you, it's got to almost feel like your favorite pairs of shoes, right? You know exactly what that tractor likes.
Pretty much. That's why I'm still driving it. I pretty much know what it's going to do. So actually what happened there is I broke my ring and pinion, and the sled come and hit me from the back side and sheared the chromoly tubes off right above the axle.
Wow. It's crazy.
So we broke at about 100 feet, I think. So
right.
So really the sled was moving and I wasn't,
Right.
What
Pretty clean break.
What was your reaction? Did you know what happened when you're in the seat?
No, I just was sitting on the ground. That's all. I sit low anyhow, and I was just a little lower.
Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, we had it back together in 1 week. We had it back running
and it's still the same tractor right now. It's still the same tractor you're pulling right now.
That's correct. Yeah.
Wow. Yes, I was saying, Chase, this thing here is like his best kept shoes. He knows exactly every little quirk about it. I mean, that you know how to get the tractor up and down the track. Obviously, it's every time you run, it's just trying to nail the setup for the track, and maybe doesn't go all good every time. But when you run something that long, you know exactly what it wants.
Yeah, and it seems to like what it's doing right now. So
sure. Yeah, so take us through that. You just come off a Bowling Green. You won the ring in the unlimited class. I mean, walk us through what that means to you. What that personally means to you to win that ring in the unlimited class?
Well, we always figure the unlimited is the granddaddy of the polling world, but that's what everybody kind of thinks anyhow. So, when we came into there, I knew my track was running pretty good, but I really haven't won before in the unlimited this year, except for when I got to Bowling Green. So I don't know. It was a shocker. I guess everything kind of worked good. My track was really running well. Thursday night, we probably would have been in the pull-off, but I sheared the bottom bolts off on my pulley. So that kind of took us out of the pull-off. Otherwise, we'd been in a pull-off Thursday night. So I'm sure of that. So
now they haven't called you and asked for the ring back yet, have they, Ricky?
Not yet. No, but I didn't get the $10,000 check either, though.
Yeah. Did you hear about that whole debacle with Josh, Ricky?
What's that?
Did you hear about that whole debacle with Mr. Josh Blackburn? Just tonight. I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't know really what it all consisted of. All right. Well, I'm glad to hear they're not giving you phone calls about that. I'm glad to hear you still got yours.
If you run unlimited, 10,000 to win should be the minimum in that class.
I'd agree. Let's go for it.
Right?
I mean, when we were sitting there, I think I was fourth hook, and we were sitting. My crew and all of us were sitting down there at the 350-foot mark, and every time a tractor goes by, it's another relief. So we were having a pretty good time at the starting line down there, or at the finish line. So I was kind of commingling with the fans a little bit, and some people came by with their throwouts, and I was throwing some of them out to the fans. So we were having a good time at the finish line.
You didn't throw any beads out, did you, Ricky?
Yeah, no beads.
What?
You didn't throw any beads out, did you?
No, I didn't have any.
No, very unfortunate.
Yeah, so that it's kind of crazy you sitting down there watching. So there's always been the big question, right? Unlimiteds are first class on Saturday night in Bowling Green. You've been at pools where the Unlimiteds are the last class of the night. Can you kind of tell us what it means to you sometimes that where the Unlimiteds hook usually are at the end of the night because they're waiting for the best to be last or whatever? What do you like about maybe being first or being last, or can you kind of point us in a direction of what you as an unlimited puller likes when you run?
We like to run where the track is, like after you guys, where the track isn't tore up yet, and we've been ran after the pro stocks enough this year, and it seems like that ain't the best fit for us after the pro stockers. So seems like they loosen it up a little too much for us. So otherwise, it was nice running early because all the fans were there to see us get the awards. So that's kind of nice.
Well, I've always said, you go to like an NHRA event and you go up, they're not running super comp the first class out. They got top fuel, so for you guys, it's got to be kind of neat to change it up and be in first class. It's like you said, everybody's there, everybody's watching. It's the start of the event and they're bringing out the big guns first class out.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the proper thing to do. I think, a lot of times you wait till last and then people are tired and they want to leave too, So I'd rather be in the middle of the show as to be at the end of the show. That's for sure. Yeah,
the track might get better, might get worse. I mean, I think we juggle that between a lot of the pools we go to, depending on how much moisture's in the dirt. Sometimes the way the classes are lined up, maybe it's not the best order for how the track's working. You guys ran in front of us, and as a mini rod puller, we're going, oh my God, the Unlimited just run. That track's going to be great. I was fourth hook. It wasn't that bad. They did a really good job of putting the track back together, even from the first of the class to the end. So as far as that goes, I don't mind pulling after you. Maybe not all tracks are that way, but at least there it wasn't that bad.
Well, I don't have a lot to say about that because I don't have to run after the Unlimited. So that's you guys' problem.
I'm still we've talked about it on this show before, but either a pull off or a top three comeback. So the Unlimited is a first class. The top three, you come back at the end of the show after all classes run. You have what we call a pull off to see who wins because you get the best of both worlds. But the problem is, I know Unlimited it gets really hard sometimes running two times, but if it's first class, you probably got 4 hours to go through everything, honestly, by the time it comes back to that. So that's my personal wish one day because I think you get the best of all worlds there because the people that get there late and they're the stragglers, they can stick around, watch the end, and you also get the appetite of, who's going to win this pull-off between Joe Eater, Ricky Rose, and Adam Bauer. So I don't make
you've all had one run down the track. You kind of know maybe what to do the next time,
Yeah.
Maybe we can implement that at the Power Pool Nationals next year, Ricky.
I'll think about it.
Okay. All right. You got all winners.
I do like pull-offs, but I believe the puller has to be compensated for the
sure.
Absolutely.
None of that exists without a much more bigger purse. I think you got to justify it with a much bigger purse, and it's much easier to do. So I agree. I think everyone agrees with that, Ricky.
Maybe we can get some of that betting money for the pull-offs.
Yeah. I think that'd be a great idea.
See what he did there, Chase?
Power Pool Nationals, Ricky. So now we asked you your gear earlier. You wouldn't tell us your gear, but it's no secret your tractor's been doing very well the last this entire season. Do you just attribute it to just good maintenance and things holding together, or is there a secret sauce that you're making up there in Glencoe, or what's going on?
Believe it or not, last year we got a hold of some poor methanol. So we fought with that and didn't know what the problem was until Sandwich last year. So me and Brett Berg we usually trade our methanol back and forth. So last year I started running it right after Toma. I swept Toma series, and after that, my tractor just wouldn't run. And we thought, well, it must be something else. But then when we got to the end of Sandwich, then me and Brett talked about it. And he said, oh, yeah, my tractor quit running too. So then we got some better fuel, got good fuel. And then Brett went and won the Enderley. So now this year, that's our biggest change is our fuel, I do believe.
Does it have nitro in it?
It's M5.
That's a secret there too. No, it's real. It's good.
Yeah, just a small amount, Chase. Just a
Ricky,
small
hey,
amount.
just so you know, Brandon Simon mentioned something on here about smoking pot. The next day, he got a drug test. I can guarantee you, at Sandwich, you're getting a fuel sample.
You get a fuel test.
That's okay. That's okay. No, we were on my.
Honestly, that's very interesting, Ricky. You know, all these supercharged Hemis all run methanol. So, and I guess I don't really know who Adam and Tyler get theirs from, but there's suppliers for this methanol. You don't go to a methanol station like you have people you buy it through. So you think it was just a bad batch, or like it's very interesting to bring up because I have heard these stories before. I've also heard where people get methanol that makes their stuff blow up and not, goes the wrong way. So, was it just, did you change supplier? You don't got to call a supplier out. Did you just change who you got it through?
Yeah, we changed. We were always getting it in bulk before. So in transportation, I believe that the methanol was taking on moisture and not being what it was supposed to be. Because I think they were bringing the methanol up out of California in tankers, and tankers are exposed to sloshing around and open vents and all that stuff, and probably high humidity. So I'm very careful with what I do with my fuel now. We buy it back in 55-gallon drums now, and very careful how I handle my methanol now.
I'm sure all your competitors will love you, see you go back to the company in California, but I'm glad you figured out your problem there. And
the phone's going to be ringing at distributors everywhere. Hey, what kind of fuel we got? We got to get shit tested.
Yeah.
Is this stuff good?
Yeah. Is there a testing procedure? Like, do you measure the ABV with like a buoyancy test or anything to confirm that it's good now?
I haven't did that. No. So I trust my supplier now, and it's been okay. So
very nice. So in
and
the
I
unlimited,
can't say that's total the deal, but it kind of leans that way. So
sure.
And we did other things, over winter we do things different in motors too. So everything ain't you got to move ahead. So everything ain't exactly the same from year to year. So
tell us about your motor program and who you give the credit to there, helping those things stay alive going down the track.
Well, first of all, I got to be good friends with Ken Vinny. So he kind of took me underneath his wing. When he parked his unlimited, I kind of came in. So,
yeah, I hear Ken knows a thing or two about, making horsepower.
Yes, he does. So he's given me a lot of knowledge. He's helped me along, tells me what to do, preparing my, as far as I do all my own motor work. I put all my own motors. I get all the parts through them guys, but and they're Vinny heads, of course. So I do all the work and kind of know where that has to be. So I want to take my hats off to Ken for what he's all done for me.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
With
Ken selling, well, go ahead, Chase.
I was just curious. It's interesting. We've had Kid on the show, and obviously Kid, probably the smartest guy to ever touch an engine in our modern time. Like you service and do all your stuff yourself, but like maybe you were asking this, Tyler, who do you have help now maintain some of this stuff since Ken no longer does that?
Ken never really did my motors, but he gave me the parts.
Gotcha.
So, of course, he gave me all the details of how everything has to be set.
Sure.
There's things like your camshaft. There's things that makes your motors run and not run. So he gave me a lot of advice that way, and so
he'd give you those key assembly instructions, where to degree the cam into. He'd tell you don't even put away the timing light if you're not under 32 degrees. All the hot tips.
All them hot tips. Whether or not it's 32 or 25, I really don't know.
Right.
Yeah, certainly.
Somewhere in between, right? Throw a dart.
There's a line blinking on a dot somewhere. It's close enough.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen the unlimited class kind of develop, especially, with people bringing screw chargers into the mix, where oftentimes people have more power than what they can use. It's interesting to hear you say that you used to have 418s or still have 418s, but you really don't run it that way. How hard is it to have the self-control of that delicate balance of knowing that, yes, we could have more power, but we're better off taking a step back, having less power, and just putting it to the ground? Like, how tempted are you to just go buy 2 screw chargers for those 2 back motors if the 2 back ones, only run in the unlimited class anyway, and no denying they're better, right?
That's hard to say. I've thought about it, but until my tractor needs that, my tractor don't really need that right now. So I think we'll continue until my tractor tells me it really needs that. So.
Hey, Ricky, you don't have to re-strip screw blowers. You just
That's
put them
true.
on and run them.
That's true.
That sounds pretty nice.
Right.
Oh,
I think we need to put them on mini rods.
You're leading me on, aren't you?
I would like to see screw blowers on mini rods, to be honest with you.
I'll run them. Tyler, go buy me
What's
a couple screws. I'll run them.
Oh, Jesus, Ricky, I can't afford the pulling vehicle I drive.
Ricky, this is a family show now. The way you worded that could be taken a lot of ways. He's talking about superchargers. So
Yeah.
Chase can help me out too. He knows how it all works.
Yeah, he'd be the guy to ask on that.
Chase, yeah.
I'm the wrong
In
guy.
both directions there. Yep. That's true.
So
Hey,
Chase
Tyler,
you guys had 4 screws and they're not on there no more. Chase.
Yeah, we're not smart enough weren't smart enough to use them, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ricky, we always have a segment of the show. Full disclaimer: I didn't tell you everything you're getting into, so don't hang up on us now. You've had a good time so far. We're winding down here, and a lot of people tuned in. Thank you, fans. I know we've seen some questions for Ricky, but we have a little segment called Rapid Fire. Okay, and Ken Vinny did this. And I know Kim Vinny's your guy, so I know you can do it. So basically, Tyler, take Ricky through what rapid fire is. Because, Ricky, don't kill me. I didn't tell you about this.
Yeah, so, Ricky, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a dozen questions, and they're going to be fast questions. You don't even need to give us a correct answer. We just need a quick answer. We don't even need any explanation, and we'll just move right into the next one after that, all right?
there is a pass. You can call it, oh, I'm going to be Chase and not answer it. That's all you got to do.
But, Ricky, don't shut the computer off or hang up. This is going too well now.
It's really good. We got some more questions for you after this, but we got to liven things up a little bit here.
Yeah,
Ricky
great.
Ricky looks like he's going to murder me when he sees me.
No, it'll be easy, Ricky. Believe me. All right, here we go. If you had to pick between $7 a bushel corn or free fertilizer and seed corn, which would you choose?
$7 corn.
Have you ever been arrested?
Never.
What is something that you never wanted your kids to take home?
Take home.
I don't really know. I guess they
Fair
can take
enough.
anything that I got. They can take home. I guess
That's fine.
Just say Adam Button. Just say Adam Button, Ricky.
Get out of here.
What's the stupidest purchase you've ever made that you regretted?
Pulling tractors. Not really.
What modified tractor puller could you easiest beat playing the board game Monopoly?
That I could beat the easiest.
Yeah,
In Monopoly.
in a game of Monopoly.
I don't really want to pick on a puller.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Okay.
Sweet potatoes or mashed potatoes?
Sweet.
If you had to choose between being forced to run Allisons on your tractor or turbines, which one would you choose?
I'd have to take the Allisons.
If your refrigerator could talk, what complaint would it have about you? Eh?
Not enough food.
Okay. Who would make a better homemade birthday cake, you or your son, Jeff?
It'd have to be Jeff.
I understand. What is the most challenging class in all of truck and tractor pulling?
I think they're all challenging.
Fair enough. What is your favorite restaurant and what do you order at it?
Steakhouse. Ribeye.
Fair enough. If almost all of civilization was wiped out and you had to pick one puller to survive on an apocalyptic Earth with, who would you choose?
I'd take Brett Berg.
Brett Berg.
It's a good choice. All right, Ricky. And finally, you've shown them how it's done. What puller would you love to see step up to the challenge and host their own Grand National Pull?
I guess you could.
There you go.
Oh.
You could host a poll.
You got me there. No, I don't think I could, Ricky. I don't think I have the free time and dedication that you guys.
The
put
filler
into that.
specialties 300.
Yeah. Well done, Ricky. That's all there is to it. There was just a dozen of them. That's not so bad,
That was
right?
really good.
You didn't hang up on us. We're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here too, I guess.
I feel
Okay.
like Ricky had a puller in mind that he thought he could beat at a game of Monopoly. He just didn't want to say it.
Probably so.
All right. No,
So, Ricky-
I'd never be able to live it down, so I don't want to go there because
All right, fair enough.
everybody's a good puller, and I just know how it can be, but I don't want to. I just
No,
At
I don't want to do that.
Monopoly, not pulling. Monopoly.
What's that?
Yeah, at Monopoly, not pulling.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question for you. It's something I've always wanted to know about every pulling team because I think everybody travels so much. Obviously, you've been traveling up and down the road for a long time. Do you have a story of something that happened to you coming or going to a pull? Maybe something, potentially got in a wreck or you had something happen going to and from a pull. What is your most interesting travel story that you have?
This goes back a long time ago. Inderley of 1992. We were late to get started, of course, on the road. Had to go to Ohio. Get into Wisconsin, go through a scale. Old trucks, right? Old manual steering and whatnot all. So they said we had to go around to the back and get checked out. So, of course, they checked me out. And, of course, I know what I can do to make it go right again. So they said my steering was a little too loose. So I went and tightened the steering up a little bit in the rack and pinion there and tightened the screw up to make it tight. And so that was set to go. But meanwhile, all the department went to an accident down the road, so nobody was there to let me go. So I was getting out of time. So I decided, well, I'm either going to have to go home or I'm going to have to continue on. So I decided to continue on. So the ending result wasn't that great. So
You said you never got arrested, so it could have been that bad. What happened from there, Ricky?
believe it or not, I got back home and here the DOT shows up at my doorstep a week later or whatever.
That's never good.
Of course, I denied I wasn't there, right?
Ricky's the honest man.
Attaboy.
So here he brings the Puller magazine out, and I won the Inderley that year. So
He showed up.
You didn't even win enough to pay the fine if you got it.
So that's the most memorable experience I have had on the road, I guess.
So what was going through your mind? Like, okay, I'm supposed to be the good citizen. I'm going to hang out and wait for him to come back, but I got a damn tractor pull I got to. We're leaving this place.
Yep. So that's what I did. I left. So I thought tractor pull was more important. So
And you won the Inderley.
and I won the Inderley, yep.
And this guy came to your
It's worth it.
house equipped with this magazine to show you, yes, you went to this pull. So that was even better. What did you say at that point? You're sorry?
I probably was sweating yet. No, I
love it. It's a good story. Would you recommend that to anyone else in present time?
Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Everybody's got their own thing that they need. That's most important to them or whatever. So that was the most important thing to me at that particular.
Yeah, you
time.
risk probably going and getting in really deep shit with the DOT because I mean, if the DOT gets a hold of you, they can shut down everything you got. They'll confiscate or they'll impound everything you got right on the spot. You know, and you're like, yeah. Fuck these guys.
I think you made the right move. It all worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. I'm still here.
Yeah.
Probably I won't be able to get to my next poll now, but we're still here.
Don't call us to bail you out, Ricky.
I think your new rig's a little nicer probably than that truck.
By far. Yeah.
Pretty sharp rig you got there.
Really good looking rig.
We always ask everyone, Ricky, you've alluded to it some, but Adam normally asks this question, or he gets mad when I ask it, but I'll ask it today.
That's fine. You can have it. I got to ask my travel story. I got a good story out of it. I'm happy, dude.
Ricky Adam gets mad at me a lot on here, but I don't like him either, so it's okay. If you could change one thing in pulling, if you had the keys to the car to change everything, obviously you kind of said it with purse money, but like, what is one thing Ricky Rose would do to make pulling better if he could and to grow the sport?
I don't have control, but it'd be nice to get more purse money.
More purse money.
Yeah.
How would you make that happen?
Yeah.
What's that?
How does one make that happen?
I don't know, because I'm a promoter, so I know there isn't enough money to make the purse better. So I don't know. Our sport is still the cheapest. If you want to go watch tractor pulling, is still the cheapest entertainment out there. I think the entertainment, the admission has to get a little better for fans. Maybe it needs to go up $10 more or whatever.
Right. And all that money get allocated to more towards the purse.
Yeah, I mean the promoters got to make money in order to pay more purse, So.
Well, yeah, in these events, I mean, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but I mean, what the Power Pole Nationals make, I mean, there's a lot of fees that go with it. It's not like you're banking money off of a tractor pull.
No, it's a struggle to make ends meet all the time. You for sure need good sponsors. Without good sponsors, we wouldn't be able to exist because it's a lot of money to get our show up and running, and I don't care to share that, but that's completely fine. It's a tremendous amount of money that if I wouldn't have worked through from promoting from small to big and knew what it could kind of do, I take a lot of risk on certain days, but promoting the event, but it's always been okay for me.
Yeah, you have a true love for the sport. I mean, you look at anywhere that they have a modified or unlimited hook, you've usually been there every year forever that I can remember.
I don't think I bet I can count on one hand in the last 10 years of the polls I would have missed.
Wow.
And that maybe was due to a breakage or a family thing of some sort, but I'm usually there if I can be there.
That's awesome.
It's impressive. We've got Mike Steffen asking, do you still try doing light unlimited?
Light mod.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
My tractor is set to do it, but I'd probably like to try it one time yet. And I probably would try doing it probably at, it depends upon how it works out. Rockwell will probably be okay, or maybe Bowling Green or Toma. It'd have to be one of the bigger events I would do it.
Tremendous amount of work to do that too, right? Because I'm sure there's a gear change that involves going from the 2 for the 3 to 4. I mean, it's just completely different setup every time, right?
I built a new gearbox back 3 years ago because my other one couldn't handle the horsepower no more. So I do have my old gearbox yet that I could set in there for the 2-motor thing. So I really do have enough equipment to make that happen. And as far as taking the 3rd motor off and just having 2 up front, that's not a big deal. So,
gotcha.
Ricky, what gear would you run if you ran light mod? No, you haven't run it. What gear would you run?
Well, I asked that question, so I don't know how true
Chase
they
is
are.
trying to get information. There may or may not be a vehicle getting
That's
built.
right. I guess I'd probably be about 21.
So explain, I mean this jokingly, but honestly, people learn about pulling in the backside of the sport that they would never know. So the numbers that we're throwing out there, I know you threw out 11, 13, which I'm sure you're really honest about with the modified and unlimited class, but a fast gear is the lower number. A slow gear is the higher number. So you feel free to explain, maybe Tyler, Adam, but like those numbers, what does that number mean? When you say 21, does that mean like you got to jump up and down 21 times to get to work? Like, what does 21 mean?
That means your motors are turning 21 times to 1 revolution of the tire.
Yep.
Yeah,
And that's, go ahead, Tyler.
Basically, if you run your gear too slow, you're not going to load the motors near as hard. You're going to over rev them. The front end's maybe not going to pick up quite as quick. And if you run your gear too fast, you're trying to spin your tires too fast. The motors are going to be tugging down. You're going to be hooking up too hard. The front end's going to be lifting up, hitting your wheelie bars. Obviously, Ricky knows all of this, but we're just kind of explaining that to the people out there when we talk about a gear, and why that's such a big deal. Because even in the mini rod class, you hear people talking about running as low as, low 9s, a 9.1 or a 9.2. And then you've got people like Chase, that wants to scream his motor that's running like a 12 or a 13 to 1 final. And
I can't do math. That's why I asked Ricky.
yeah. And so like Ricky expertly said, that's how many times the motor has to turn for the tire to turn once. So when we say 10 to 1, that's 10 to 1 ratio. So a little advice for the newbies out there. Ricky, if you're going to,
we say fast and slow for an outsider. The faster the gear, which you heard the background, the lower the number, which probably conceptually is backwards if we say it like that. But
not necessarily, because even like in a vehicle, your fastest gear is your overdrive, which has a numerical ratio of like less. So it's like 0.73 to 1. So it's actually, overdriving. So yeah, it's sometimes when you're talking with people, you have to specify numerically higher or numerically lower. So Ricky, if you are going to miss your gear setup, now that we've broken that down, would you rather err on the side of being too slow or too fast, and why?
I'd rather be too fast.
Easier on the engines?
Sure, they don't run as hard. Not like Chase got his going. But there's a lot of advantages to being too high, and there's disadvantages of being too high too. So it's nice just to have it right. But if you ask it where I'd rather be on the high side than the low side.
Gotcha.
That's fair. I'd agree with that. Yeah, not
you
a
just
lot
confused
of us
Chase by that. Is that numerically high or
not a lot of us can compare?
I'm having a rewind of the farm show episode. We were trying to do the math on the farm show, how much money they made. Ricky, back in February, we were trying to do calculations of how much money they made at the farm show, and it was a mathematical debacle.
Nightmare.
Yeah, debacle.
I
But
still think we did pretty good on that.
Our viewership went up though.
These guys 2 + 2 equals 6.
Ricky, we're starting to wind down here. I got to ask, we just talked about it. What would it take for you? I think it would be absolutely badass. And you're the only guy I think that could do this with one vehicle. If you show up to an event and ran light mod, and unlimited, I don't think nobody else could do that with one vehicle other than you. What would it take for that to happen? Because I think that's a hell of an idea. We'll actually come help you work on it if we have to.
Oh my! You'll set her up in 2 motors, and I'll set the gear ratio up, and you can get it all ready to go.
Well, I'm gonna get back here and jack your tractor up and count the tire turns too. By the way, with the drop shaft.
Yeah.
Make sure one's sitting on the ground.
Is there anyone else? There's no one else could do that. Is that something you would ever consider doing?
What's that?
Running all 3 at one event. I mean, you kind of alluded to it. I don't want to tease, but I think that would be like a major storyline as far as I'm concerned. Like this guy's taking one vehicle and running 3 different classes. I don't know if we'll ever see that much more, to be honest, in pulling.
Yeah, shout out to Ferry Brothers. I believe they did it at Toma one year.
Who was that?
Ferry Brothers with their tractor. What was it?
I did it. I did it back in Toma. Ran all 3. Or
you did?
yeah, I think I ran all 3. Yeah, classes.
Impressive.
That's when the first time the Unlimited came out. The mod Unlimited light.
Unlimited. Yeah, it was light unlimited. Yeah.
Respect to you for that. Have you won a Hooker of the Year award for such massive challenges that you take on?
Yeah, I got Hooker of the Year. I don't remember what year that was. It's been a while ago. So
explain to everybody at home that has nothing to do with prostitution. Tell us what Hooker of the Year is, Ricky.
Well, actually, Hooker of the Year is somebody that hooks to the sled the most times for the year.
What's the most amount of passes you've made in one pulling season? Not just you, but the tractor in between you and Jeff.
I would say 35.
Okay.
That's quite a few for a multi-engine tractor for sure. I have a question that I like asking everybody, and I'm nervous that you're just too polite and respectful that you're not going to answer it, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I ask it of everybody. It's always that much sweeter to take the victory from a certain someone. So if it's Saturday at Bowling Green and your last hook in the class and you're going to plow through there and take first place, who is it a little bit sweeter when you get to take it from a certain someone? Who is that certain someone?
Could be past or present.
You've got someone in mind. You just don't want to say it. And to be clear, Ricky, before you answer, we've clarified that this doesn't mean you dislike that person. It just means that you respect that person competitively so much that when you get to beat that person, it means that much more. So really, it's almost paying honor to this person that you name, not that you're saying you dislike them.
I hope they understand that because I like all pullers. So I would say, does it need to be in the Unlimited or the mod?
Both.
Both for sure.
Well, now you want 2 answers.
Yeah, we want 2.
2 answers.
Yeah. I do joke around a lot with Bill Leischner. So I think we have an understanding, us two, that, sometimes I can beat him and sometimes he beats me. So it would be coming up to Sandwich. It'd be pretty awesome if I was the last hook and I could go by Leischner, I guess. So
yeah.
I hope you don't feel bad about that if he's listening. It's not. It's just
a compliment.
It's a compliment, Ricky.
So,
what about the Unlimited class?
This is intense.
I guess it's me and Joe Eder are pretty close right now. So if I could get around him, I guess that would be pretty awesome.
Joe's tough, man.
Good stuff.
One of the best.
Both badass pullers. I think that's that nobody would take an offense to that, hearing that. So if you were a mini rod puller, who would you love to beat?
Who would I love to beat in a mini rod puller?
Yeah, in a fictional
or
world.
Who would I want to be?
Yeah.
Who, if I were a mini rod, who I'd want to be?
The most.
I'd want to be Ken Vinny.
See, great answer. Once again, that's just because he's the man.
I was hoping you were going to say Adam.
Chase.
I didn't though. Sorry.
So,
No,
Ricky, we're coming. You mentioned it. Next time we'll see you out is a sandwich next week. So you've been pulling nonstop. Funny, I didn't really have this question in mind, but this is Labor Day weekend. You're not pulling. What the hell are you going to do?
Actually, we're scheduled to lift sugar beets, our harvest sugar beets. So that's what we'll be doing.
So that's weather dependent. As soon as the weather's cooperative, you're going to be in the field.
Yes, we'll be in the field for a short period of time. So the co-op, the factory, they just let certain growers get their turn so they can keep the plant running. So everybody gets a turn early in the season. So that's what we'll be doing here this next few days.
So once you get going with the break for sandwich and the Enderley, you'll be farming pretty hard here the next couple of months, weather permitting, it sounds like.
Yeah, we'll be pretty free till after the Enderley, the way it looks, because our crops are quite far behind this year. So I'm sure we'll be pretty free up past the Enderley this year.
Is the sugar beet your preferred crop to farm?
Well, it's most profitable crop. This year they're not very good because of too much water, but they turn out to be the most profitable.
So do you farm mostly sugar beets then?
No, the rotation is 5 years on those. So you can only have a sugar beet crop every 5 years on that. So that limits us, of what we can do. So
that's pretty fair. What does the harvester even look like for a sugar beet? Do you have one of those big Homer units or?
No, I don't have one of those. So we just got a pull behind lifter and a topper. Like it's like kind of like digging potatoes in a way. I don't know. Maybe more people know how that works than a lifter. It actually you take the leaves off the top first, and you come through with the lifter, and it's got pinch wheels that get tighter in the back, and they roll, and it lifts the beet right out of the ground onto chains and elevates it up to the top, and then it goes on, elevates it out to the truck.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that's literally the most efficient way to like make sugar is from a beet of all things. But well, Mr. Adams going to.
I'm interested in how many acres of sugar beets are you do, Ricky?
600.
600, and then the rest is just in corn.
More corn than beans, so we do about 2,500, 3,000 corn, and about 1,500 in the beans.
The sugar beet season. When do you plant those?
First thing out, that they're like wheat, so they like cold weather. They germ good in cold weather. So usually, if we can get going the 1st of April, around the 1st of April, that's ideal.
As long as it's dry enough to plant something, you're planting as soon as you can.
That's correct. Yep.
Interesting. And it doesn't matter how cold it is.
Nope.
And if it snows on it, if it does whatever, once it's in the ground, it's not affected.
The only time it'll get affected is if it freezes when they come up, and it usually takes, of course, that time of the year usually takes three weeks for them to come up because the ground is so cold. So
interesting. Is sugar beet farming pretty popular in Minnesota around there, or is that a pretty unique deal you all do?
No, it's pretty more to the west, and I'm right on the eastern side of the beets. So to the west, there's an awful lot of beets up into North Dakota and South Dakota, and there's a lot of beets.
How do you even get into farming several thousands of acres? Is this something that your father did that you're filling his shoes? Like, that's so much land. How does that even happen?
Well, I'm first generation, so I had no help that way. So it just took a lot of hard work. I used to be a dairy farmer back when I started. So
God bless you.
Got rid of the dairy cows in '86. So then we went a different route. But so that's kind of was my start, and was fortunate to get on the farm that I bought back in the '70s. So we had great connections throughout my farming career. Otherwise, we wouldn't get there. Great,
Awesome.
great landlord.
I always find it so interesting to figure out what it is that people do to afford this wonderful hobby that we're all obsessed with. So it's pretty cool to hear the backstory. Guys, do you have anything else for Mr. Rose?
Ricky, don't kill me when you see me. I'll see you at the Interly. Appreciate you dearly for coming on. And I learned a lot about you and some things I didn't know. So I know all the pulling fans out there appreciate you as well. And if nothing else, I learned that we need to check where we get our fuel from, and you're never going to tell us what gear you run. So thank you for coming on, and tell Julie thanks as well for getting you set up, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you got any final parting words, we let our guests kind of say whatever, and us three will stay on here for a couple minutes. But thank you again for coming on the No Practice Podcast, Ricky.
Yeah, I just want to thank all the fans that come out and see us. That's the most enjoying part. I like commingling with people. Even though I'm busy, I do take time, and I enjoy that time that I can mingle with the fans, and they like that, and I like that, and just keep the fans coming, keep our sport alive, and competition's great. I like competition, so life is awesome.
So this podcast has the most viewership of anything in Poland, Ricky. So you're a big part of that now, and I'm going to be sure you have a No Practice Podcast T-shirt to wear when you run at the Interly. So do you care to wear that for us?
I'll put that on just for you.
Right.
If you're lucky enough, me and Tyler and Chase's dad can sign it.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, Ricky, thanks to you and your family for
Ricky.
all the hard work that you guys put into running both classes. There's not a lot of people that would do that. So honestly, hats off to you guys for doing that for as many years as you guys have. I respect
and promoting a very keynote event as well. A lot of people don't know that, so we said enough great things about how great that event is, and we look forward to going back again next June.
Well, thanks you guys for having me on, and nice talking with you guys. And
okay,
hopefully we'll see you
hopefully
soon.
we move ahead in a good way.
Yeah. I'm gonna say you run about 16-1 though in that unlimited, but we'll talk more at the end. Really. Thanks, Ricky. We'll talk soon, buddy. Thank you.
We'll see you all.
See ya.
Have a good.
Take care.
See ya.
Ricky Rose, baby. That's a man that doesn't. People probably don't know all the stuff he does for pulling, but that event, you could tell by talking to him, he pours his heart and soul in it. And running Mod and Unlimited was a thing that was popular probably in the 90s and early 2000s. And he's
You guys see that comment?
Yeah, did Chase? I'm surprised.
Emily
brought
Ann
it
checking in. Are we getting the mouse?
Let me fit Ricky, thank you for coming on. Mousetrap. I forgot about that. I'm not that type of guy that really wants to see people miserable, so I don't even care about it.
So it's really funny after the Bowling Green's over with, which in a class of 52, you don't really let that sink in what has happened. Now we made this bet live on the track. You said, let's best overall for the weekend. We did say the black tractor, so it kind of helped me out because
I don't know if we did or not, but okay.
Yeah, no, I
shitty.
believe I remember saying it's the black tractor. It's the one that's got the Pioneers on it.
Yeah.
Adam, take everybody. If someone didn't tune in for episode 23 of Bowling Green, what our buddy there, the Amish man, said that loves to throw these bets out. Like, what the hell even happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Tyler Slaw just comes up with this. He wants to bet stuff, and we're thinking hog shocker. He had wasn't a taser or a stun gun, as you say.
I've actually got it right here.
It started with that damn chip. This all started with chip back in March.
I was going to tase Chase with this. But my father heard that on the ride to Bowling Green, and he said, there's no way in hell you were going to tase anybody with that taser while they're chugging a beer. So that idea got nixed. So
I didn't lose that bet either, by the way. But
no, you didn't lose it, but you didn't show up to take part either. So if we want to do a taser bet at some point,
all this is just like your rules, and you win until some fan brought up a mousetrap. So I think we need to restructure this.
I've got the mousetraps, and I'm a man of my word. I told I think I told Chase that I was going to leave them packaged so that
Hang on.
didn't know that I tampered.
Just a reminder. So, Adam, what was the bet again?
Well, from what I can understand, the bet was whoever lost the bet worst overall finisher for the weekend would stick his hand in a mousetrap live on the podcast. Well, so Saturday night is over with. We all are out in the campground having our fun, doing whatever we do.
Yeah.
And I think we were hanging out. Me and Chase were about the only people left on the ground there, I think, the other night. And we go to Buffalo Wild Wings, and we're sitting there, and it gets brought up. It's like, who lost the bet? And I go, oh, shit.
I said what bet?
Yeah, he did. He's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, shit. So we started calculating some stuff up. I think if I look at my phone, I'd probably know what the difference is.
Who's got the math? Somebody texted it to me.
I will. Let me see what we got here. Tyler Slaw.
My hands are getting sweaty the more we drag this out.
So here, I wish I could. I'm going to try my best to show this. So
yeah, show everybody what you sent me out of the blue, Adam. You and I haven't spoken in quite some time, and you just sent me a GIF or a GIF.
I did. I sent it to you.
That is a mouse bench pressing a mousetrap bar.
I sent it to him. It was the first one that popped up.
And what did I say?
He says, "Oh dear, is it me?" I said, "Can you do math?" I said, "Chase got a 5th and a 21st. Adam a 10th and a 16th, and Tyler a 17th and a 13th." And you say, "Shit, didn't even add it up. I didn't realize he got." And this isn't even a stab at me. He says, "I didn't realize he got 5th." Damn, he's talking about Chase.
Yes. Well, because I knew Chase got 21st on Saturday, but I didn't see that. So I'm like, I got him covered. Yeah. I didn't even take into account that he got.
And I said, he got by the hair on his teeth. And you said, that rascal. So
yeah,
Tyler ended up being the loser of this particular bet.
I see somebody saying, Tyler, do not use your fingers. Use the middle of your hand. Could I actually break a finger doing this?
I don't think you should do this.
Steve-O did it on Jackass.
I feel like I have to.
Jackass. We're jackasses, but we're not jackass.
Do not use your finger.
Should I use the
Are
middle
you
of my
really
hand?
Are you going to do this on air?
Yeah.
Hey, I say you put a little piece of peanut butter or cheese on there and lick it with your tongue.
If we're going to do a tongue mousetrap, that needs to be a separate bet.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. We probably don't any of us need to be doing that.
Oh, this thing's got some tension.
We got to make a couple announcements, too. We're here to grow the sport, so I don't know how this is growing it.
I think you need a rat suit and put it on and go over there. And
I don't even want to set this thing.
Oh, God.
Oh,
boy.
I've never done this.
So he's saying probably you need to use the side of your hand instead of putting
Side
your
of
hand
my
in.
hand?
Don't do. Just be careful, dude.
Yeah, right. Oh, boy.
We get a countdown?
I really don't want to do this.
You don't have to do this. I'm telling you, you don't have
because I made you eat the hot chip, and if you were in my shoes, I
didn't know it was hot. I didn't know it was hot, or I wouldn't have made it.
We told you it was hot, dumbass.
No, but I've had spicy fucking food before.
Don't use my hands, or don't use my fingers.
You owe us nothing. You owe us nothing. You don't owe this to us. No more betting on this show.
I kind of like the bets, though. It makes it fun, Chase.
No, this is not smart.
Is it not?
You're on your own.
Somebody just don't dislocate your hand, and you're gonna feel it for 6 months.
So I can use the middle of my hand, though.
Sure, we'll let you do that.
Can we get the audio for the? I mean,
He's got it close.
Get the audio for the non-video viewers.
I got the microphone real close to the mousetrap.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, put Tyler on the big screen.
Put on the main screen right there. What a scene!
Somebody count me down here.
All right, Adam, how do you feel like we should go about this? You're Mr. Creativity.
Hot tip. Somebody said to use my left hand. Should I do that?
Yeah, use the. Are you right-handed? No, flip it over. I think it's a little bit more sensitive on the top part of your hand. Flip your hand over.
My hand over? Like
yes. Yeah, it's probably a little bit more sensitive on the top side of your hand.
I feel like there's more bones in the top of my hand, though. It's more meaty on the bottom.
Oh, okay. You can do that then. Do that the other side then.
All right. So we're doing a countdown.
Spin it around. Well, you're going to miss it, right? So there you go.
Okay. All right.
In 5, 4,
3,
2, 1,
go.
Okay, that hurt, but it wasn't the worst.
Now use the okay. Well, we were expecting more. What were you telling me? Maybe in your drunkenness about a revolver mousetrap? What was this?
This is the cheap kind you get on Amazon. This ain't a real mousetrap. This is some bullshit.
Look, I got made in the USA one.
The grade level of that trap is like made in China, probably.
Yeah.
Chase, I just told you that. I think honestly,
okay, you're okay. I'm pissed off now. That wasn't a very good stunt.
No, that wasn't. That was pretty anticlimactic. I think the advice of using the meat of my hand really made it less intense.
Yeah, you wanted to smack the top of the fingers pretty hard.
Yeah. Sorry for our viewers out there that Tyler went the easy route and didn't really get this mousetrap weird. I can't wait for the next bet.
I just reset it.
That's what happened. A rat trap would kill a small dog.
All right.
Oh, I don't know when I'll see you.
Going fingers this time.
Fingers this time.
No, you're good. Don't. Oh, he's trying.
No,
to show
he's
us.
good. He's good. He's using the
I'm
bottom
feeling pretty
side
good
of his
about
hand.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. 3, 2, 1.
That wasn't smart.
Okay, fingers is significantly worse than the meat of your hand for sure.
Ugh. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I almost swore, but I don't think I did.
Good deal.
Cool.
So, what other? We're getting down to the end of the season here, Tyler.
Chase,
I mean,
I did not buy the cheap one. I bought the good Victor made in the USA.
I'm sorry. I take it all back. You're a tough SOB.
Yeah, we got some potentially. Maybe we'll release some of that footage of Tyler Slaw on campground duty, shotgun beers, like you've never seen.
Yeah.
I don't know that we need to go there, do we?
No, probably not. But we only got a few hooks left of the season. For anybody who knows, like for the NTPA scheduled, we're going to be finishing up here this weekend with the points circuit in Wauseon, Ohio. Tyler, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with your schedule?
Well, we are going to go to Nashville, Illinois, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. And I believe you boys have a free weekend, don't you?
Some do, yes.
You guys want to come? We can do another bet.
I would like to go and show up and maybe improve on the Pullers Championship now that we've pulled on that amazing dirt. Let's hope they can replicate it. But we'll see if we can do this close to the house. I'd like to think I'm going to try to get there if everything goes good.
You guys want to wager rat trap, but you got to use your tongue, or mouse trap, but you got to use your tongue.
Oh boy, that's tough.
Yeah, I'm out. Don't do that, dude. Yeah, I'm not.
Chase's tongue may not be that long. We don't know.
I don't think I'm going to go. So you go on your own. I'll referee the bet. But
okay.
Chase isn't interested. Can you imagine getting your front teeth knocked out by a mousetrap?
Oh boy.
So
you go to the dentist and they're like, "What happened?" You're like, "I was trying to set off a mousetrap with my tongue and it knocked my two front teeth out."
Just say you're on a
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that. I don't think we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So,
Tyler, Labor Day weekend, any plans for you for the event next week?
Okay. I'm pretty sure that Chase's audio is a little screwed up, but I think what we heard there is Labor Day weekend. What's the plans? I don't know if I'm going to go to the Upper Peninsula and hang out with my dad and cruise around on side-by-sides, or if I'm going to take my boat out and just relax around here and get my tractor ready. Adam, how about you? Labor Day weekend, what's it look like?
Yeah. So, used to be we would come back. I have a 2-year-old kid now, or soon to be 2-year-old son. And we used to come back after Wauseon and stop and go to the U.S. Nationals for a couple days. But I think we're going to come home and we're going to try to get down to my wife's hometown, go hang out with the family down there. It's been all summer since we've really been down there. So try to get down there and do that. And, we'll see how that goes. Try to enjoy a day on the lake, maybe. Oh,
Look at this guy.
Chase is back.
Computer crash, sorry.
It's the best
Nice.
audio all night.
Bad
Yeah.
math.
Oh,
Hey,
see you a
there we
second.
go. That's the best audio all night as far as I'm concerned right there, Adam. What do you think?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, you just got kicked off. But, yeah, I don't know. Enjoy the weekend.
He's back.
He's back.
Sorry, my dial-up internet went out on my desktop computer.
Chase,
This must
tell
be a
us-
brand new phone, Tyler, because look at the video
this thing's
quality and
crystal
the
clear.
sound quality. It's crystal clear, dude.
Chase, tell us about how you're leading two-wheel drive Grand National points with one event to go with your illegal blower overdrive.
Yeah, there's like 11 people that can win that points title, to be honest. That two-wheel drive class is a complete shit show. Not in a bad way. It's just
Careful.
there's 27 vehicles running for the points, so the amount of shit that can happen in one night is a lot, obviously, because we're in the points lead, and I don't really know how.
How many point lead do you have?
I think it's 3 over second place, but again, I think mathematically 11 or 12 people can probably win. Actually, maybe more than that.
How nuts
2-day
that
hook.
going into the last event, there's over 10 vehicles that can get first. That's
Last
exciting.
event, there is 2 hooks there, so there'll be a hook on Friday night and Saturday night. So
Sure.
last
I'm
2
not
hooks.
saying this because I'm involved, but like just from anyone that likes watching pulling, you should tune in because that's going to be very entertaining to see all that unfold over a 2-day window. Because
So tell us the dates and tell us how to tune in there, mister. Plug it.
yeah, it's this Friday, Saturday, full pull live, and then also full pull live this weekend. The Friday night event in Wauseon, Ohio, which Grand National Mini Rods and Full Drives wrap up. That's a regional national event, but you'll be able to stream both events via full pull live, and then that's Friday, and then Saturday, Canton, Ohio, is where the two-wheel drives are. You'll see a two-wheel drive and a light super stock champion crown, along with the pro stocks running and a couple other regional classes. So it is Labor Day weekend, but I think that particularly the two-wheel drive class and then the light super stock class, because they have a tie at first place in that one. I think there's a lot of fun shit to watch if you're not doing anything this weekend.
And then the following weekend at Sandwich, Illinois, they're having the other classes wrap up.
Yep. So
pro stock and modified, correct?
Pro stock, super farm, and modified. I think crown champions, along with diesel four-wheel drive next Thursday night. So all these points races, honestly, besides the diesel super and four-wheel drive class, from what I've been told, are literally going to go down on the wire, which is fun. It's a fun time of year for pulling, and I think the events are one thing, but it's so hard to even be in a conversation in some of these points races. So, Adam, I know you're looking pretty good to qualify for the Interleague pull-off, but even the mini rod class, there's top 5 people go to the Interleague pull-off, and I think there's probably 10 or 11 that can go to that thing. So
yeah, I mean,
cool
last
stuff
weekend
to
had a
cover.
lot of implications there at Wellington. Ken Vinny's like 2.5 points out of the lead and goes out in one wheels in the middle of the track, gets down in. I tried some stuff. I kind of looked at the weekend as this is my weekend to try a few things, considering, I haven't been consistent. So I figured I'd try some stuff, and did not work out good for me. But I kind of knew, I was gambling points in the top 5 if you want to stay in the Interleague, right, at all costs. And I mean, there were some position changes. Adam Bauer didn't even get to run at Benson, and he's now in 5th point in the points. So I mean, It's just crazy how the year goes and how everything falls.
In that
He
mini
wasn't
rod
even-
class,
He wasn't even
seven-
at Benson.
No.
he
He
was
could
there.
not run. He didn't have his engine was broke on Saturday. He didn't even get to pull.
Oh, okay.
So you got your
he got
your
15 points, but still he
15
lost
points, but
Yeah.
he lost.
yeah.
It's
He
the
lost
same thing,
whatever.
though. That's what the two-wheel drive thing is so interesting to me because, I mean, at these events, Tyler and I have had this conversation. If you put everybody together like a Bowling Green on Saturday, there's probably 40 plus, and this is no knock, but there's probably literally 40 tractors that could win an event. In a class like two-wheel drive with that many vehicles running a point circuit, like, could you imagine a mini rod class with 27 points vehicles, the amount of fucking, excuse my language, amount of shit that can happen? That's what's so interesting to me about. I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm honored and excited to even be in the mix. At least Friday, I might be out by Saturday, but I think it's pretty cool shit just to watch.
Absolutely, dude. Like I think it's I think you know speaking on that, like things like Bowling Green, like the huge classes that like Tyler's mentioned before. Imagine if everybody got hook points, or since there's 52 in the mini rod class, that we have that many points that we're drawing from.
Yeah,
it
if
would
you win,
be
you get
huge
52
game
points.
changers. Yeah, it'd be crazy.
It'd be wild.
There's a lot of exotic shit you could do, but
Right.
if we keep doing this podcast, I think within a couple of years, they're just going to do whatever we tell them to do, right?
Yeah, we're gonna change the rules, right?
Numbers
but
don't
I
lie.
think-
Hey, numbers don't lie.
I know. I think the big thing that we're trying to push here is that as long as we get the pullers on and they get to voice their opinions, I think there's people out there listening. You know, like, hey, that would be a good idea, and that's all we're trying to do. We're just trying to make the sport better. We're not dogging any organization for their rules or anything like that. We're just trying to bring a new factor and new viewership to the sport. If that means that we have to change the rules or the way the pools are laid out or anything like that, maybe that's all we're trying to do. Is just get
And-
new blood in there.
Offering an
It's,
explanation for things like whether it be gear ratio or the rule debacle of what happened with Josh, like I feel like if you can tune in and you don't know much, maybe you can leave each episode knowing a little bit more. So that's kind of the goal.
Hey, they didn't invite us to come to SEMA because they think we're good guys.
Right.
But we got to figure that out next couple of weeks. I'll talk to y'all about that. But
Yeah, that's
this
wild.
That's
This
pretty
is,
lucrative deal there.
This went from an idea to something that we all take pride in, and we should probably do like a behind the scenes sometimes of the amount. It's a little busier in summer, but like we kind of do throw these things together. We don't do a lot of planning, and
This
you know,
was about as last minute as a show we get. It seems like every time we're doing a show now, it's even getting closer to like.
yeah.
I have a trainee here, and we're trying to get my CNC, you know, get them affiliated with the machines and the programs and stuff like that. I'm over there like trying to, and I'm looking at my watch going, shit, we're going live in 15 minutes. Like I got to drag this stuff out and get everything ready.
Yeah.
And
Shout out
then
to,
my
Rogo and I were on at 7:15, just as we had
get-
planned to, sitting here patiently waiting. So,
yeah, and you know who was on? Who was on second?
oh, Adam was, of course. Chase is always last. There's been times where Chase has got on here at 7:55, and we're just like, all right, going live in 5 minutes. What's the plan?
Hey, you know what? How surprised I was! I was watching my computer update, and as soon as I clicked on all the stuff to get it going, and the end of the little intro was going, I'm going, "Oh my god, I made it! I can't believe I
I was-
made it!"
Hey,
I was so surprised to see you.
we will never give consulting. There'll never be a consulting future in our podcast journey, but at least we made this shit work. So,
Exactly.
All right, let's wrap
another
this
great
thing.
show. Shout out to Josh Blackburn, Ricky Rose, two very contrasting different personalities, but very. I think that's what the beauty of what we do here. You never know where you're going to get, and people learn more about a guy like Ricky Rose who doesn't say much, but you can feel his love and passion for the sport. And I thought, how cool was it when he said at the end, you know, how much he loves and appreciates fans. I mean, that wasn't there's nothing fabricated about that statement. So another great show, fellas. And I look forward to not betting with you all again on another poll here soon.
No, tongue mousetrap. I think we need to do that.
Okay. Yeah, you and Adam can do it. I'll sit back and watch. So shout out episode 24. Thank you. to
I'm
our
sorry,
backstage
dude.
People.
It ain't happening. We're gonna come up with something else.
Well,
Hey, no. Wait a minute. Wait.
Oh,
I
God.
do believe there was a second bet made at the table at the track at Bowling Green.
Which was
Grant Theobald did a super step on that ladder. And I think there was a bet that was made. We might have to run it back a little bit, but I think Chase said if he got to the fourth step, that he would back into the sled in the two-wheel drive.
I didn't say when I was going to do it, so just tune in this weekend. I might do it either day.
Well, me and Tyler were sitting in the booth, and I brought it up. I said, "Is he going to back into the sled?" He told him he was going to do it.
I think Adam and I maintained a decent amount of professionalism, but when Chase pulled out onto the track, I said, "Now here's a guy that's known for taking quite a bit of time to back up to the sled. Hopefully, he's got a full tank of fuel because he's going to need it. Let's see just how long it takes."
And we're like, "Is he going to back into it?" He did lose that bet. He did say he would. Now,
what a better way to destroy a points lead than taking off in reverse? So I think the timing's right. So tune in Friday. I might do it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. All right.
Gentlemen. Happy Labor Day weekend. Everyone be safe out there. We love you. We'll be back in a couple weeks. Good luck to everyone as they wrap the seasons up. And thanks for tuning in. See you soon.
See you guys.
For the greatest motorsport on earth, introducing Full Pull Live, your front row seat to all the action. Don't miss our next 2 NTPA national events. PM Miller Tire Tri-State Showdown, live from Wauseon, Ohio on Friday, August 30th, where the 2024 Mini Rod and 4-Wheel Drive champions will be crowned. And the Charlie Swartz Memorial Pull on Friday and Saturday, August 30th and 31st, live from Canton, Ohio, where the 2024 2-Wheel Drive and Light Superstock champions are being crowned. Sign up at the brand new low price of $39.99 a month. Full Pull Live, the greatest motorsport on earth, streams here.
Bye-bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the No Practice Podcast.
Have a good one. Bye.
Stay tuned for the next episode, where we guarantee there still won't be any practice.